Good morning, everyone. So I can see the numbers are coming in. If you guys can hear me and if you can see me clearly, you can let me know in the chat box. I can see a lot of good mornings coming in. Fantastic. Hi, hello, everyone. Good morning. Look at that. That's a lot of good mornings. So I hope you guys have a fantastically awesome morning. All right. Hello. Okay, so while we wait for the rest to actually join in, I would like to actually ask our participants today on who here have seen me or have heard my name, or if you guys know me from somewhere, because I know there are a few of our friends here. So I would love to actually say hello to you guys. Or is this your first time meeting me? First time, all right, okay. First time, a lot of first times, all right. Okay, a lot of first times. Okay, all right, fantastic. So I hope this would be a fantastic, good first time meet for everyone, for you and me. And I love that the chat box is filling up with a lot of hellos, good mornings, and replies and responses. Fantastic. So before we start, I would like to actually do a quick poll on how many of you guys have had your breakfast. Let's see, how many of you guys have had your breakfast already? It is 11 o'clock today now. So let's see, there's one person no, five people no. Ongoing, all right, I like that, ongoing. So please have your meals together with us. All right, 93, yes, fantastic. Okay, it's now only 57% of the audience. We're halfway there. So for those who are joining in, do feel free to let us know. Have you guys taken your breakfast, or you missed your breakfast, or currently ongoing, you're having your breakfast together with us? All right. I like those who are having it together with us, because this is fantastic. I like how it's very laid back and relaxed. Do feel free to have your coffee with us. If you have Milo, tea, breakfast, you can have your plate in front of you, no problem. All right. So remember, breakfasts are for champions, and each of us must have at least a minimum, a small amount, even if it's a biscuit or a bread, just to fill up your stomach, fuel your tank for the rest of the day before your lunch hours. All right? Okay. So with that, let us begin. Are you guys ready? If yes, you can put in the chat box. If you guys are ready for us to begin. Yes. All right. I like it. There is a thumbs up. Fantastic. And with that, let's begin. So basically, the title to today is called Staying Fit on the Go. And my name is Kavitha Sivapragasam. I'm a performance and fitness coach. So before we begin, I would like to actually thank Naluri and their team for actually reaching out to me, to give a platform to actually share about one of my biggest passions since I was about, I think I started going into fitness at about 17, 18 years old. And since then, it has been one of my main interests to actually help people to transform their life and teach them about healthy habits. So when Naluri approached me and they wanted me to give a talk, I was like, okay, you know what, let's do it. And today's topic is staying fit on the go. And I believe all of us here, we are either students, we're either working adults, we can even be anyone who's doing something in front of the laptop or in your devices, or if you're going for classes, or if you're even being seated too long, this session is for you guys. All right? Okay, so let us begin. So a few housekeeping rules. Number one, you have to make sure that you're using a supported browser. So example, if you guys are on Apple devices, Safari can support Demio. So again, also you must have stable internet connection. For example, don't worry if at all you get disconnected from this session, this is recorded. So you can always come back in, or you can rewatch the session. So no problem, right? And those, especially for all those who are driving, if you guys are tuning in while driving, thank you for tuning in. But always remember, eyes on the road, hands on the steering wheel. You can always listen and rewatch later on. So if you would love to actually basically ask any questions, or if you have any technical issues, do feel free to reach out to Naluri Events. So it's basically Michelle is here to actually assist us technically. So throughout the whole 1 hour, she is your go-to person if you have any technical issue. For example, if you can't hear me properly, you can't see me properly, feel free to reach out to Michelle. All right? Okay. So again, I love interaction. This session is all about movement, participation. So do feel free to ask a lot of questions, maximize the chat box and also our poll system. If you have any questions, just post your question up, and my team will actually help to highlight those questions when time comes for me to answer it. And if at all you want to stay anonymous, if you have a very personal question you would like to ask me, you can also send a private message, and I will do my best to actually answer it for you guys. All right. And at the end, a PDF of the slides will be shared to everyone. So you can always have a PDF document or also the recorded session for you guys to actually go through and relook and relearn to remember what you guys have attended for today. All right. Okay, so a quick intro about me. My name is Kavitha. I am a performance and fitness coach for the past, I believe it would be now, I'm a quick guess for everyone. Can you guys guess what's my age? Let's see who can get the right answer. Guess my age. What's my age? 23, 29. Oh, thank you to those who mentioned below 25. You guys are awesome. All right, okay. Oh no, it's way higher the number 30, 33. Okay. Alright. So my age, did I see a 40? Oh my god. 27 years and 10 months. I like the precision. So my age is actually 26. So when I started in 18, it has officially been 8 years since now I've been in the field of coaching. And I started off because I was a student athlete. I love participating in sports activities, and one of the reason why I went into what I do today is basically when I was 17 years old, I had a fall when I was doing my hurdles. So happened there was a hole in front of the first fence. When I jumped over it, I didn't see it. My leg went into it and I twisted my knee. And uh, I didn't have any intervention. It was just swollen like a, it's like a football size, literally, because it just twisted the whole knee. And it took me about 3 months to recover, but no intervention, no surgery. That was when I discovered how powerful your body is in healing. And I was like, okay, this is something interesting. I wanted to learn more. How can the body self heal and recover from any form of injury or any small sprains or muscle soreness? And that's when I went into exercise and sports science. I am a graduate from University Science Malaysia, also a double gold medalist in the course that I did, and graduated, of course, first class. And a lot of people ask me, how did you do it? Is basically I started doing the things that I enjoyed doing. And after more than 8 years, I have empowered more than 120 lives through my personal coaching. I also do, of course, group coaching, and I produce contents for our platforms in Instagram and YouTube for people to actually exercise from home. So later on, I'll be sharing a few of my social media platforms where you guys can connect with me to ask me any other questions. Right? Okay, so these are a few of my achievements I managed to get for the past few years. Is number one, I graduated as the best female graduate in 2022, best in health science student, top 10 young talents in Malaysia. I also was awarded the best leadership delegate of EduCity Summit. I was also the top 22 student entrepreneur among all the 20 public universities in Malaysia. There was only 22 of us who were selected as a student entrepreneur. And then also recently, I think about 2 months ago, I was awarded as the Anugerah Alumni Muda Harapan, which in English is called as Young Alumni, Young Hope Alumni. So it's basically for those who is doing a lot for the community. We were acknowledged for the work that we do. And on top of that, I'm also the director and co-founder of Head Start Academy and the LOA Center, fitness and life coach also by night. And also I do still am active participating in road races. And recently, I think Last week, I won a podium finish for one of the marathons here. So I have a lot of passion in what I'm going to share with you guys today. So if you have any question, please do feel free to ask me. I would love to see how I can give my knowledge to you guys to hopefully help you some way or another. All right? Okay, so let's go. So how do we perceive health? How do we perceive health? So this is a very general question, right? So now if we go to Google and we type what is health, the basic statement comes out is health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. It means you have a holistic approach of balance in your life. For example, you have a balanced emotional state, intellectual, spiritual, environmental, social, financial, occupational, and physical. So all in all, if you can maintain these 8 key areas of your life in balance, that is when, my dear friends, you guys have reached an optimum level of your health. Now, specifically for today, we will be going into physical. Yes, we can talk about the rest, but today I wanted to focus more on physical. Why physical is basically all of us are human beings. All of us are blessed with the ability to move. All of us are given the limbs to move. And that is when we should always honor it to keep on moving the body. Right? Okay. So now what are a few types of exercise movements in general? So now I would like to ask our fellow friends here today, what are a few types of exercise and movements do you know or do you do? So let's see. I get a few photos here. Okay, I see here there's Zumba, walking, yoga, cardio, yoga, flexural movement. Wow. Okay, burpees. All right, running, brisk walk, walking, eating. I like that. Eating. Okay, yes, eating is also a movement. Okay, swimming, house chores. Exactly. Good. Sprinting, weight training. Look at that. We have a really good crowd for today. Okay. So for all those who answered, thank you guys. And now I would like to do a quick poll to actually check how many of you guys actually exercise or even move your body. And if you do, how frequent is it do you do in a week? For example, it can be daily. It can also be once a week or anything. So now I would like to ask Michelle's help to actually bring up the poll. 2 to 3 days per week, 2 times a week, 4 times per week. Fantastic. Okay, all right. Let's see, daily. I like that. Going up once a week. Okay, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Okay, keep it coming, keep it coming. Let's see. So we actually have a really active crowd here. Well done to everyone. A pat on your back for being physically active. And I love that you guys gave me answers. For example, house chores. A lot of people think house chores are I don't burn much calories, this, that, and everything. But the beauty about house chores is you're physically moving. You're not being seated. And the more you move your body, I love to use this analogy is basically number one, if you don't move a car or if you don't start a car, over time it will rust on its own, just like our system here. If you do not continue to move it, to explore movements, to keep on just even small movements, lifting a bag, squatting down to lift a box, bending down to take a book, all of those movements, my dear friends, are actually allowing you guys to live a much more longer life. Our joints are very similar to how a working model of a car is. The more we move our joints, the more grease, oil, lubricant it is needed to ensure your joint is in healthy condition. So the more we move, the more we stretch, the more we go for a walk, is already really good for you guys. And I love that you guys gave me answers like strength training, cardio, burpees. Someone said eating. Yes, eating is also one type of movement, but in this time we're talking more towards exercise, burning calories. All right. So this is where now a lot of people feel, for example, is yoga a exercise movement? Is meditation an exercise or a movement? Now, when someone goes into that line, it's typically meditation when you learn to bring your breathing in sync with your heart, you would realize that your heart rate also goes down, your food quantity also goes down, your emotional level of stability stabilizes. And the beauty about yoga is not all about stretching. Yoga, when you do at a certain amount of time, you will start to sweat a bit here and there. Now, another movement that we often forget to do is basically early in the morning when the sun rises, right? When the sun rises, before the sunrise, we try to do it before the sunrise so that you can catch the view of the sunrise. Just walk on grass. If you have grass, if you don't have grass, then you can just walk barefoot just for 5-10 minutes. Just be present and just walk and walk and walk. Slowly till the point you start feeling a bit of sweat forming at the top of your forehead. Slowly, you feel your body a bit warm, observing the sunrise slowly rising. That's a nice way to actually start your day. So, my dear friends, exercise and movements can be anything, just as like you guys shared here today. It can be from house chores, it can even be brisk walking, it can be running, cardio, strength, flexibility, mobility, all those movements, anything, as long as you guys, like for example, if you need to go and take a glass of water, the moment you stand, that's a movement. Walk towards, if you can try to find the furthest pantry or the furthest cafe, go buy something, come back. That is a very good change of state for all of us, because majority of the time, my dear friends, we are consistently in front of a screen. All right. Okay, so let me move to the next slide. Okay, so why should we incorporate this into our working hours? So when I first started coaching at the age of 18, I had working adult clients. And at that time, one of the main famous statement everyone would always tell me is, I have no time to work. I have no time to exercise. I have all the time to work, but I have no time to exercise. So and then I was thinking, now, if we understand this philosophy, I think our perception actually would change. Number one is, the more healthier you are, the more productive you become in the work you do. Imagine not being able to take care of your health. You would fall sick more. You will have more back pain, shoulder pain, muscle soreness, headache, flu, fever. And because you fall sick more, you're not in your higher state of productivity. You are more towards going back, sleeping, taking your MCs and everything. Okay? So that was when I realized, okay, this is a very good time to help people to re-understand, the more you take care of your health, not only always remember, health is not only physical health, it can also be your mental, emotional, spiritual, occupational, financial health. Right? So the moment you take care on that aspect, the rest of things is like a ripple effect. You start to see your work becomes better, your mental state becomes better, your emotional stability also becomes better. The more you take care of your health, take care of your health, take care of your health. All right. So now, specifically, why should we incorporate this into our working hours? Number one, it reduces workplace stress and boosts your morale. Second, improves overall job satisfaction and reduces absenteeism. This, my dear friends, it relates to what I just mentioned just now. Is basically, the more you take care of your health, the more healthier and your immune system increases, your chances of falling sick reduces. Hence, you are there at your workplace, at your schools, at your classes, giving the highest productivity level you can. On top of that, you enjoy doing it. It also encourages a healthy and active lifestyle among employees. You know, they have this famous saying, be with the people who you want them to take you far, right? So if you want to take care of your health, surround yourself with people who have healthy habits. Now, we all know when we engage with people, when we meet people, when we communicate with them, and when we talk to them, you would feel a click. Do they match my energy? Do I like their habit? Do I like their style? And the moment you feel a match, it just means that what they do and who they are, it matches with what you do and who you are. So if you want to start exercising, if you want to start leading healthy habits, find a group of friends. Even if you can't find a group, even if you find one also is fantastic already. So you find one of them to be your sparring partner. They are known as accountability partner. Imagine every day you get to go into your workplace, or you get to go into your classes, and you meet that one person who consistently radiates amazing energy and encourages you to progress towards healthy habits. That, my dear friends, will transform your environment tremendously. On top of that, it reduces muscle soreness and fatigue. Now, a lot of us, I'm sure, just a raise of hand, or if you want to put in the chat box also, how many of you guys have experienced muscle soreness or shoulder pain, back pain, neck pain, all the pain in the world while you were working? You were working and suddenly someone had sharp pain. Okay, I see the hand. See the hand. Okay, all right, all the hands are going up. Okay, every day. Oh, okay. This is where after this I will show you guys a few movements to help you guys to really relax yourself. Now, the moment we exercise, the moment we move, we do experience a symptom called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So that is that feeling of soreness you feel. Oh, okay, after exercise, after you move and everything, you feel a bit of soreness. Then after 3 4 days, it goes away. But the thing that we experience every time when we're working, that is called ergonomic injury. Because of the posture we are sitting, the laptop, is it positioned properly? Are we looking down, straight, or up? It affects your neck. And then it's basically when your hand is rested on the table, is there a mouse cushion underneath to ensure your wrist is not directly impact on the table? Or a lot of us, we like to have the table edge just nice at the wrist. That, my dear friends, actually will give a lot of friction towards your nerves, and this will lead to carpal tunnel syndrome. All right. So now, the more you start being active, how you're going to be active, I'll share in a while. But the more you start being active, it will help to reduce your muscle soreness. Yes, sometimes you might feel, oh, my shoulder pain and everything. But if you start to realize, the more you exercise, from basically from 5 days of soreness, now it becomes 3 days, 2 days, one day. And I'm sure all of us have realized this. Those who are physically active, I'm sure you have friends who loves to go hiking on the weekends. They are just running here, running there, doing some form of activity, right? They are typically very high energy people in work. Studies have shown people who are more physically active, they are more towards the extrovert side slightly. They're very bubbly, they have high energy, and when they walk into a room, you might see them also bouncing and coming because they're just full of energy, right? So these people are really, really good to have in your circle because they will influence you to go start exercising, go into movements and everything. And there is a study done basically by Sean Eckhart called in his book The Happiness Advantage. I don't have the book, it's there, but it's okay, all right. So this book talks about the more you're happy, the more you're positive, it actually increases your productivity, your sales, and of course your performance by 33, 37, and 3 times. So now when you are starting to exercise, of course, in the beginning of the exercise, you feel like, oh my god, can I finish it or not? It's so tiring, so painful. But then after you finish the exercise routine, how do you guys feel? So I would like to know to from our dear friends who swim, cycle, jog, run, brisk walk, strength training, cardio, burpee, fresh, okay? How do you feel right after your exercise session? Okay, so Hidayah says fresh, feel happy, alright. Arina feel happy, feel good and lighter, merry, okay. Satisfied, relax, feel great, stress relief, fantastic. Sometimes tired, okay, alright. And you sleep better, good, sense of accomplishment, great motivation to do work again, okay. Increased dopamine, felt more energized after sprinting, wow. Before work, this is champions, they say the early birds gets the best work. So I think Azri is one of the early bird. Fantastic. I feel like I've taken over the whole world. Nice. Okay. All right. Nice. I feel dizzy. Okay, so that I'll answer later. Okay, so now exercise has shown to increase your dopamine, your oxytocin, your serotonin. So it means that you guys feel really good, like, oh my god, I feel like a champion. Being able to exercise before everyone wakes up, wow, that is fantastic. You had a head start of your day compared to the rest of the people, right? So now this is where I'll answer a few of the questions later at the last slide. So you can collect all the questions, and Michelle and her team will compile the whole question list, and I'll answer that later. Right? Okay. So now, so what are the types of exercise and movements we can do during working hours? So this is where you see on the top of the left part of the slide, it says activity time. So I would like all of you guys, if you can, to actually stand up if you have a chair. I'm just going to change the view of my camera so that you can view my chair and my movement also. Okay, all right, so you guys can see a wider angle now, right? So now you know what's behind me all this time. Okay, all right, so now I would like all of us to actually stand if possible, all right? Those who are wearing any form of heels, high heels, anything, ideally you remove the heels because I want your feet to feel relaxed and grounded. Because most of the time when the heel is up, we have the tendency to push the body forward. So now when we put the heel down, you wiggle your toes, and just feel how nice and flat and free your toes are. Right? Okay, so now I'm going to show a few movements for us to actually do during working hours, or if you need a break in between your work, your classes, or anything. This is what you're going to do. All you need is just a chair. Okay, this is my chair, right? So number one, first, you're going to basically either left or right, no problem. You're going to take this is my right hand, place on the top of your left side. Okay? Your legs are open, as wide as your chair. Preferably, the chair is not the roller chair, or else the moment you do some exercise, it might just roll you away. Right? Okay, so now just cross. You will cross here, legs are open. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to inhale. And as we slowly tilt to your right, it becomes exhale. And gently just exhale. And release. Now you can change side. So now it's your left hand crossing your right part of the body. Legs are still open. Your right hand is going to go up. You're going to inhale. Gently exhale. And release. Okay, that's one. Second is hands can be by your side, or if you want it on the chair, so no problem. All you're gonna do, we're gonna tuck the chin down towards your collarbone. Alright? Slowly rotate your neck all the way to the back. Bring it down to your left side. And the moment you come back to center, you're gonna slowly just rotate to the opposite side. Nice and easy. So go slow. And why slow this is because I want you to feel the stretch and tension of your muscles, your ligaments, all of this. Just gently rotate. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Okay, so that is just to give your neck and your shoulders a bit of relaxation. So now you're going to push your chin up. You're going to look up to the ceiling. Those who are driving, eyes in front, hands on the steering, okay? You can do this exercise later. So you're going to inhale, look up. Gently exhale, chin to collarbone. Inhale, look up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Okay. Now your chair, you're going to take your chair, you're going to place it in front of you. So it means that you are facing to the back of the chair, right? Okay. So now your hands are going to be open. You're going to take your left hand. Your legs can be open, no problem. You're going to take your left hand. you're going to push all the way down to the underneath of your right side. So this is exhale. Exhale. Inhale. You're going to open up all the way to your left and up. Gently exhale. Go back down. All the way down. Really twisting your body, your shoulders here. You're going to inhale all the way up. Gently exhale. Go all the way down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And release. Okay, we're going to change side. So now it's your left hand on the chair. Your right hand is going to go underneath. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. You're going to open up your body all the way up. Exhale. Inhale up. All the way up. And release. Okay. Hands on the chair. Why is this important? Because this actually helps you to be stable. For those who are very stable, if you want your hands are on your hip, you're just going to go into a tiptoe. So you can't see my feet, but it's basically I'm going into a tiptoe. From full feet, I go tiptoe up. Full feet, tiptoe up. So on the chair, your hands on the chair, you can just go up, down, for 10 times, really warming up your calf muscles, your lower body, just allowing yourself to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Okay. Now your hands are going to go up. Inhale all the way up. Legs are open. Gently exhale. We're going to go towards your right side. So we're going to go towards your right side. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Now we're going to test how mobile you are. Your hands are going to go to the back. We're going to pull. We're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to gently just lean in front and hands goes up. Hand goes up. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. And up. Hands forward. Push away from your chest. Push it away, like really away. Push it away, really far, really far. Have a bit of pressure. To a point you feel the back of your shoulders, you can feel a very nice stretch. So push it away, push away, push away. For 3, 2, and 1. Release. Okay? Now you're going to hold your elbows. You're going to take a deep inhale up. Deep inhale. If you can, your hand goes to the back or the mid of your head or to the back of your head. That's okay. No problem. It depends how flexible are you guys. Gently exhale forward. So your hands comes in front. You're going to inhale up. Gently exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Okay, now you're going to take your left hand. You're going to just cross your right side of your body. You using your right hand, just help to assist. Don't pull the hand. Just you help to assist. You just push it to the back. Push and hold for 3, 2, 1. Change side. Just push to the back. Remember, don't pull. Just push for 3, 2, 1. And release. Now, for all our dear friends who are consistently typing on your laptops and everything, you can take your hand up. Good. With intention. So with intention means this. Is basically, let me just have a seat to show you guys. Okay. So with intention means you have tension. Not okay. It's just tension. 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 So rotate your wrist and out, in and out, in and out. So you might hear crack crack sound. I don't know if you guys can hear my crack crack sound, but I'm sure some of y'all might feel the crack crack sound. Okay, so just rotate for 3, 2, and 1. Now you reverse the rotation. Reverse the rotation. Reverse the rotation. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Okay, now your hands in front, fingers out, point in, point out, point in, point out. Looks a bit funny, looks a bit cute, but this really actually helps to stretch out, allowing proper blood flow for your wrist and your forearm. Just out, in, out for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, release. Inhale, our hands are going to open nice and wide, really wide. Really stretch it out for those who has enough space. As long as your co-worker is not beside, otherwise you might just poke them. Have enough space. Really stretch it out. You can take a deep inhale. Exhale, really squeeze the body. I want everyone to squeeze your body. Give yourself a good self hug. A good hug. Squeeze, tap, 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 tap at the back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Okay. So well done. We're gonna go back to our slides. So tell me, how do you guys feel after completing all these movements? Let's see in the chat box. I hope you guys join me. Can't do. Oh no, Aswan. Tapa Aswan. It's okay. All right. Loosen up. Feel good. Fun. Nice. Relief. I feel good. Lovely. Okay. Fantastic. Yes, it's simple. It's easy to do. Even it took us maybe less than 10 minutes just to really just move your body. All right. And I'm sure like for me, I'm only sweating here and there. But I hope you guys also feel a bit nice and warm and everything. So I saw a few questions there. And this is something that you guys can actually do every single time. Every 90 minutes of your work, take a few seconds or a minute just to stretch it out, walk far, walk here. So on top of these stretches, what can we do to ensure we move during working hours? Number 1, let's park the car really far. Okay, so a lot of us, we love to find the nearest car park to the main entrance, right? So this is where, if possible, try to park maybe a few car parks away from the front door. Why? You get extra steps in. Instead of using the lift, you can use the stairs. Unless if your office floor is on the 19th floor, then that is different. You take the lift until maybe 15, and then you walk 4 flights of stairs. That's already very, very good. Oh yeah, if you come late to office, then you get very far parking. So unless you intentionally you park really far, you give those who would want to walk a bit lesser, they park nearer, right? So on top of that, how can we maintain that we always are moving in our working hours? Number 1, try to park a bit far, get a few more steps in. Second is use stairs instead of lift. Unless you're on the 19th floor, then maybe you cut short, take the lift until the 15th floor, 4 floors you walk, no problem. Find the furthest pantry, or even the best part, the furthest restroom. It can be in different floors, just go and walk, go to the restroom, come back up again. It's already some form of exercise. Now, if you guys are in a very big working space, you have multiple tables, your bosses are there, this, that, and everything. If you need to ask a question, I would encourage us to push the chair back, stand, walk to the person's table and ask them a question. Alright? So all this actually can help to encourage you guys to consistently move. The more you're moving, the more physically active you become instead of sedentary. So now this is basically, I would like to invite all our dear friends here to actually subscribe to a YouTube channel called Fitness by Kavitha. So I started this in 2020 when I was in lockdown in my university. That time we couldn't go back home, so I was in campus for about 3 months. March it started. I went back home only in about June. So yeah, 3 months. At that time, we couldn't do any physical activity outside. And being a student from exercise and sports science, I wanted to see how that we can help the community to still stay active. That's when I first launched Fitness by Kavita. And I started creating home workouts with minimum equipment where you guys can actually do anywhere, anytime. And it's from beginner to expert. It's from low impact, you have high impact, you have strength, you have cardio, you have yoga, you have flexibility, you have mobility. And later on today, I'll be releasing a video on stretches for seniors. Now, seniors is basically those who are above 60 or anyone who has knee pain, back pain, or anything, they can do this type of stretching. Thank you guys for actually subscribing because I want to see how else can my content go out and help more people. And because the joy of seeing them moving and seeing how the lives we have transformed over the past 4 years, it is amazing how natural and simple movements can help someone to actually lead a much more happier life. And at that time, during MCO, during the pandemic, we were always at home. So I could complete up to about 500 live workouts where it was completely free on Instagram and Facebook, where we had a lot of communities, people from all around the world joining to exercise together. And I think that was one of the most beautiful things that digital connection allowed us to do. We allowed ourselves to express physically through exercise, and we connected with so many amazing people from all over the world. And I want to see how else we can always grow this, share more movements. And yeah, so now I'll be going on to the next few slides. It's basically, if you love to stay connected to me, you can actually follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also LinkedIn. So if you have any personal questions you want to ask me, you can always connect on with me on my social media, no problem, just to ask me anything. I always love to answer questions because my parents always taught us this: the more you ask, the more you learn. Ask stands for ASK, right? Stands for always seeking knowledge. The more we ask, the more we learn, the more we become better. And if you guys would love to hear more of my experiences and everything, do feel free to reach out to me. I would love to assist you guys in any way possible. And on top of that, is basically these are a few support and resources by Naluri and their team. So if at all anyone are looking for a one-to-one consultation with the team, do feel free to scan the QR code, or you can even get in touch together with Michelle. She will have all the guidelines for you guys to ensure you have a nice, smooth sailing experience in your consultation. It can be either for fitness or other areas also in your life. So other than that, they also have their apps and also for their website. So this is where it's basically is like your digital log of what you do in your daily life in terms of your food, in terms of your habits, in terms of your physical activity. So through this also you get to connect with your consultants to actually ask about questions, your coaches and everything. So this is what Naluri has. I expect share. You may book a consultation here with the link. So do feel free to utilize their services as much as possible because end of the day, we all need an accountability partner. We all need someone to push us and get the right people. These people will see you through towards greatness. And with that, I would like to open up the Q&A. So before we go to Q&A, there will be a feedback form shared into the chat box, and also I believe it will be emailed to you guys also. And the PDF download is already there in your handouts, so you guys can actually go in and let us know how was your experience today. It is very short and simple and sweet sharing for today because we wanted to make sure it is applicable to everyone here. We wanted to have you guys moving, and I hope you guys moved and by the chat I believe you guys have moved, and I would love to actually hear how did you feel being here today from 11 just now it's going to be 12. How was your experience being here in the space that you're here now with me? And if at all you guys have taken any photos or any videos, do feel free to tag me also on social media, or if you want to drop me a message to share what did you learn or how was the session, do feel free to reach out to me on social media also, because I really enjoy reading what was your experience. It makes me better, and it allows me to know that you guys actually benefited from sessions like this. All right, so we'll give a few more minutes for our audience to actually fill up the feedback form, because I think there's only 90% of 20% of the audience have done it. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So if you guys have any questions, do feel free to ask me. So let me just, okay, I see a question here. Okay. All right, so this question is from Dion. Do you practice intermittent fasting and sugar cutting in your diet? Now, that's a very good question. I believe in moderation. I did tests on multiple types of fasting diets and all those schemes and everything. So, because I always believed in this. The moment someone experiences it, that is when they're able to share their experience to their clients or to their family and friends. So yes, I have practiced IF before, intermittent fasting. Sugar cutting, it was like a 30 days challenge, because one of it why we wanted to test, okay, can we cut sugar or not? Because sugar is literally in almost everything we eat, right? And of course, in the beginning, I was like, oh my god, it's so difficult. But then I realized it's not about completely cutting the food out from your diet. It's about how are you controlling yourself in moderation. Now, there's another thing of too much of a good thing will also become a poison to you. So the more you eat sugar, naturally it become a poison to the body. But if you can control a certain amount of sugar every single day, okay, if you want to eat chocolate, just maybe a small piece of chocolate once a day, that's totally fine. Now, if you want to do IF, there are two ways to go for. It's basically one, you get a medical approval for you to go through IF, because a lot of people they don't know they have low sugar level. So the moment they do IF, you are basically fasting for about 16 hours, and 8 hours you are eating. So in that 16 hours, it's typically you're going out, doing work and everything. So let's say if at all at that time you don't have any glucose in your system, which comes from carbohydrates, sugars and everything, when those are not present in your body, your energy level actually drops. That's when you get dizzy, you get headache, sometimes you feel nauseating. So all that ideally you get a green light from your physician. But if at all you want to try, I would advise you guys to go for a small hour first. So instead of frequent eating, you can try, okay, breakfast you set the time 9 a.m. Lunch 2 a.m. Dinner 7 p.m. That's it. Because from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. is about easily about 14 hours, because most of the time you are asleep, right? So that's when you just test. See how is your body coping. And if it copes well, you can maintain. But always remember the food that you eat during your time slot to eat has to be very good quality. Not, like they say fast food, instant Maggie, or, and very important during IF, this is something I experienced. Because you're so hungry, you tend to eat anything that's on the table. So ideally, when you go into IF, when you're going to open your fast. Now, this is more towards the deeper side of IF. Why they do IF is basically to control your cravings. So the moment you open up your fast, you're going to eat. Take a moment, have a sip of water first. Let your body be filled with the water. Just relax for a while. Eat consciously and mindfully. That will actually help you guys. Right? Because the more we are conscious, not, oh, I must eat this, I must eat that, and everything. No. Just be very conscious and eat. Take your time, savor every flavor there is, and sooner or later, you guys would realize the quantity of your food also. You don't need a lot actually. Just like the size of your palm. That's enough already to fuel your whole system. Alright? So I hope that answered your question for Dion. Let me see any other questions. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, good question. Okay, how many ideal walking steps do you take per day? Well, it varies for different type of people. Like for me, I do about 6 to 8K, but on days where I have my running, my training, it's about 10 to 15K and everything. So now it all depends on what job scope are you guys in. If you are required to always be seated, then your steps naturally will be lower. But then if you are more towards you have to go out, you have to meet people and everything, naturally your steps are higher. So this is when ideally daily style is good to have about 8 to 10K of steps. But let's say if you guys can't achieve even 8 or 10K, that's okay. Remember, it's all about the quality of your movements. Alright? It's about the quality of your movements instead of the quantity. The more good quality in your movements you take a step forward, the more better it is. Right? Okay, and okay, this is from oh sorry, it was from vaping. It's basically is thyroid affecting our metabolism rate and hence we might be difficult to gain or lose weight? Yes. The answer is yes, because thyroid is a butterfly shape here in your throat, where it's known as the mother of your hormones. So any form of irregular levels of your hormones, the moment that happens, you will be gaining weight sometimes or losing weight. So it depends on which type of thyroid issue that we're having, either hypo or hyper. So this is where you have to consult your medical team to actually know what type of thyroid condition you are experiencing. Because how I know this, my mom also had to remove her thyroid because I think she had hypo. So that was when it basically it will play around with your nutrients intake, your hormone level, and everything. Especially for females, thyroid actually is quite common. So consult first what exactly is your type of thyroid experience you're having, then you take the next step, right? But the answer to it is yes, it does affect your weight gain and also your weight loss. All right. Okay. This is about injury. Okay, what's your advice to recover faster from ankle swelling? Okay, ankle swelling. Number one, your wrist and your ankle are almost the same because it has multiple type of bones that actually helps for its movements. So if at all you have misstepped or you actually misangled your ankle and you fell or anything, first 2 days, put ice and compression. Just rest, elevate your leg and everything. After that, let's say if the swelling, if there's any blue black, it means that it's basically any blue black means it's basically there is internal bleeding. So ideally, you get that checked. But if at all you know it's just swelled up, put ice first, let the swelling subside. Typically, ice will actually help to numb your pain so you won't feel pain. But a lot of us we like to feel okay, I have no pain, I can go walk here and walk there already. But no. Rest. Leg up. On a pillow, just slightly up and just rest. After the first 2 3 days, if it's still a bit sore, apply heat. So sometimes if people don't have heat pack or anything, you just have to boil a bit of water, hot water, have a pail with normal water, pour it in, it become warm, just soak your feet inside and just rest. Now the most important thing, when it's submerged in water, you have buoyancy to help to support your ankle. So try to do a bit of movement inside. Because the one thing about injury is number one, the moment you don't move your hand for a certain period of time or certain limb for a period of time, it will tend to become very stiff. You will lose the actual flexibility and mobility of your joint. So this is where when your feet is in the water, just try to just slowly just move left and right. After that, for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, take it up, rest on a pillow. And this is something that I always advise even like my family members who have any injuries in terms of that. Try your best to walk as how you're supposed to walk, not limping. Because the moment you start limping, That's when your body compensates to adjust the different side of your body. It might be your right leg that is injured, but then suddenly your left knee is aching because of the style of your walking changes. You are trying not to put a lot of pressure on your right, but then your left is affected also. So try your best to maintain the normal movement of your physical body as much as possible. But the key to this is rest. As long we didn't tear anything, or you didn't, like your leg is literally cracked like that, then it's totally fine. You can heal. How I know, about 1 month ago, I was running and then there was a huge rock on the road. I didn't see. My shoe went crook and my feet went to the side. I felt like my bone just went through. Then I was like, oh wow, interesting pain. Then I was like, okay, never mind. Let's just walk it out. I walk and walk and walk. I came back. I put ice. I put heat and everything, and I'm perfectly fine today. All right. So main thing, rice. It's not rice, not rice. Rice. It stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Okay. P, which is price. P means pressure. In case if there's any bleeding, you have pressure placed onto it. Okay. All right. Is it okay to go running at night around 8 to 10 p.m.? Now, this is a very interesting question. I also have my own thoughts on it, but again, it all depends on your work schedule. Ideally, you do early in the morning, because our human body system, by the time the sun sets, that's when your system actually prepares for you to go to bed. Now, if you exercise or you go for a run or anything at 8 to 10 o'clock, that's when your body actually is supposed to shut down. So when we go exercise, your heart rate is elevated, you're sweating, the blood rushing through your muscles and everything. For you to go to bed is even later. And normally they say 11 to 11:30 to 12 a.m. That's an ideal time for your liver to start functioning. So now when we exercise late of the day, your body cools down even later, and by the time you sleep, it'll be 12, 1 o'clock at night. So now your body will not get enough rest, because all of us, we have to wake up super early sometimes. So it all depends on your schedule. Ideally, my advice is to actually start in the morning when the sun rises, because the one thing that I realized in terms of building your habit also, a lot of people, they tend to say, Namanda, I will do it in the evening. By the time we finish work, we go into the traffic, we reach home and everything, you'll be very tired. Chances are you might even miss the schedule of running. So if you can, do it in the morning itself. That will actually help to energize your system, and you completed a major task before the rest of your day ends. All right, thank you so much, Marzuan, for the question. It's a very good question. Okay, let me just see. Is the right timing of inhaling and exhaling really impact the overall workout results? Okay, in terms of breathing, um, it's not about the right timing, but it's more towards the technique of doing. So a lot of us, when we breathe basically here only, towards the chest area. But proper inhale and exhaling goes under your diaphragm. So it basically, you guys will start to realize, when you put one hand on your chest, the other hand on your belly, when you breathe, try to observe which part goes up first, chest or your belly. If your chest is breathing, it means it's called shallow breathing. It breathes only halfway. But the moment if you feel your belly expanding when you breathe, that is called deep breathing. So when we exercise, the more control you are in your breathing, every curl, exhale, release, inhale, this and that and everything, you are actually training your diaphragm to work at its optimal level. That's why sometimes when people have hiccup, they ask you to take deep breaths, because you have to readjust your diaphragm back. So the more you learn how to breathe here, you're actually allowing your heart and lung capacity to function very, very well. Because you only take about 1 to 2 example, you only need one breath to function, then again, one breath function, one breath function. So it's about the technique. Now, because it's a very good question, because a lot of people somehow they can't match their breathing to their movement. So it takes time, it takes practice, because most of the time we are unconscious on how we are breathing in reality. Like today, we don't actually sit down and think, okay, am I breathing the right way? Am I taking deep breath? No, we don't do that. But if you guys can take your time, learn to just take deep breaths in, out, in, out. You start to realize the movements itself when you start exercising, when you go for your brisk walk, especially you go for your jogging, you're much more controlled and relaxed. The purpose of breathing properly when you exercise is because your body will go into this relaxed state. And when you're relaxed, it doesn't need a lot of energy to maintain that posture. You're very in tune, in flow. Right? Thank you, Ida, for the question. So it's a very good question. Okay, this is by Anit. Do you mind to share simple work desk exercise for slip disc? Okay, so now for slip disc, it depends which area of your slip disc is. Is it at the sea level, lumbar system, or anything, or at your thoracic? So it all depends on which part. And normally, I actually can later on I'll share to Michelle a few movements you can do with your chair. And remember, you must do it at your own capability and ability. If you can't do maximum movement, so that's totally fine. It is very much depending on how your body is. But if can, for Anit, if it's possible, try to go for hydrotherapy. It means swimming. You don't have to swim, but you can actually just go into the swimming pool and do a bit of stretching. Why swimming pool? Why water? Water actually gives you buoyancy, so you don't feel the constant pressure of your spine always pressing and pressing and pressing. With water, it gives it a bit of space. With that, you're able to slowly build the strength of your back muscle, your core muscle especially, in order to consistently take care of your spine health. Right? So I'll share a video to Michelle later, and maybe then you can actually refer to that for a few movements you can do at the desk also. Okay. Okay, let's see. I love it. There's a lot of questions. Okay, I only have time for one more question. Okay, this I would like to answer Noor Azia. She asked earlier is I feel dizzy when you exercise. Number one, when you breathe too fast, shallow breathing, oxygen and the intake of oxygen and your CO2 actually is too fast. So your system doesn't receive enough oxygen. That's why we feel dizzy, you feel lightheaded, like you're going to faint or anything. So for those who feel like that, take your time. Take enough break, rest for a while, do deep breathing. And when you breathe, I love to teach people open up your eyes. Let light come in, let your senses detect what's around you. When you start doing that, your alertness increases. Instead of being very light-headed, when the moment you start breathing, eyes open, look around. I saw a question about is it good to breathe through mouth and everything. Breathe through your nose, inhale. When you exhale, exhale through your mouth. Why mouth is because bigger area, it releases a lot of pressure out. When you release a lot of pressure out, this is all in layman term so that you guys can understand better. So inhale, exhale, all the air from the systems of your muscles, your joints are just being pushed out. That will actually make you feel lighter, right? So for Azia, make sure you have enough rest time. Make sure you take your time, warm up properly, meaning warm up until you are sweating, do a bit of stretching, have a bit of water breaks in between, and make sure monitor your heart rate. If you have a watch that can check on your heart rate, observe what is your heart rate at that time when you feel a bit dizzy. If it's touching to a higher point, it means that your heart is pumping too fast for you. So relax for a while. Once you feel okay, I'm stable, then you continue your movements. Right? Okay, so that's done. Then crack crack sound means all good or no good. Okay, crack crack sound it just means your joint is very stiff because of us sleeping at night or we consistently at one movement. So that crack crack sound will always be there. But if you realize over time when you start doing it, the crack crack sound will start to reduce. It means blood flow has already flowed through your joints. Right? Okay. Other than that, let me just see quickly. Okay. Okay. Does walking from our house to LRT station consider as brisk walk? If you walk at a certain speed in a certain time in a certain km, if you can complete 1 km within 10 minutes, it's consider roughly a brisk walk. All right. Should the suku-suku separuh apply to? Yes, possible. Keep it healthy, keep it balanced, and most importantly, try to work on colors. Green, purple, orange, white is rice. So try to mix your colors. Have your fruit colors, anything colorful, because every color has its own specific antioxidant, vitamin C, vitamin K, and everything. So all that actually plays a role. So if you can, your plate have a mix of colors. It is more exciting to eat, and also it gives you a bit of inspiration and motivation to take time to plate yourself and everything. All right. Okay, so I think with that, I have not enough time to actually answer all the questions, but I would love if Michelle and the team can send over the questions to me. I would love to answer it for you guys. Or if you want to directly ask me to in my social media, also can, no problem. There's a question is basically if while running the cramp is on the right side of the tummy. So if it's here, is your buildup of the lactic acid. It depends also on how you're breathing, how long have you been running, and how fast are you running. So that actually will, it depends. So the more you start running and running and running and running, you start to realize you won't have the pain anymore. Anything lower, please get it checked because it might be a appendicitis or anything. So, but normally when you run, you have this slide like sore. That is just lactic acid buildup. So remember, posture up, chest up, back is straight, swing, relax your breathing, and if at all you feel the pain, just stop for a while, walk away, then start again. Alright? Okay, so with that, I believe that's all of the questions. So if you guys enjoyed this session, thank you for actually being here today. We are just above by about maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So thank you guys for actually joining in. And I hope that the explanation was layman enough for everyone to understand. And do feel free to tag me in your post or to approach me in social media. I would love to know that you guys came from here and you wanted to connect with me there, and also do feel free to utilize my videos on YouTube. So till then, I see a lot of hearts, a lot of this, this. Okay, thank you. All right, so I hope to see you guys soon and have a fantastic today's Thursday. Have a fantastic Thursday. Lunch hours coming up soon. Eat mindfully. Try to make your plate colorful. Have a good amount of water, about 2 liters, and I'll see you guys real soon, hopefully. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.